You know, guys, it's gonna be a bonfire in the comments down below. So, they have taken out trading in Fortnite Save the World. The day has come. Let's do a quick overview. Shop tab in Save the World, 2 thumbs up. I think we all wanted that. That's awesome. As someone who makes my daily series covering the BR shop as well, not having to switch to that other mode, pretty good. Other news, Aerobic Assassin is coming to the game. New hero, awesome. Focus on Crescent kick. Less awesome. Boombox dancing bonus. Pretty good. We'll talk about it later. And I'm on the wrong screen. And then, of course, the big changes to loot. So let's talk about that first and foremost. This is the updates notes. I'll put this in the comments, or I'm sorry, the description down below. We're just going to be talking about it. So, item sharing has been overhauled. A brand new ninja hero joins the ranks. Item shop, talked about it. Details here. Loot changes. To improve the player experience, okay, we'll see, and encourage team play, we've made some changes to the way dropped loot works. When a player opens a container, harvest the environment. So that's like opening a box, opening, you know, the nuts and bolts, the whatever. Harvest the environment. That's breaking rocks, trees, ores, I would assume. So like Sunbeam and Bright Core. And then eliminates an enemy, killing the mist monster or whatever, harvesting a loot llama. A copy of each item will be generated for nearby teammates. So whenever you break a Sunbeam ore, it'll drop a different stack for each of you. I don't know if that'll be like 1 to 3 for each of you. If somebody mines it with clip, do you also get more of that resource? I don't know the nuances yet, but these extra copies will be instanced, meaning they are only visible to the player they're meant for. Oh, I think I read that and I got a little too far ahead of myself. So I think when someone breaks the Sunbeam ore, you still see it. They just get the resource on their end. That'll be a little weird to observe. So no more competing with your teammates for that rare resource. Kind of good. I believe that's a solid thing. That's nice to see, I think. In fact, staying with your team and working together will result in more loot for everyone. Okay. To compensate, however, this is where things get tricky. Item sharing has been removed in modes where inventory, why is that capitalized? Inventory carries over between missions, such as campaign, main story, storm shield defenses, and when you drop them in these modes, players will not be able to see or interact with those items. That is the biggest change. They have essentially enacted Ventures rules for the rest of the game. There are some exceptions though, like Hit the Road, Dungeons, Frost Night, Survive the Horde. These are custom event game modes where your inventory is separated from your main inventory and your Ventures inventory. As we know, in Dungeons, you start with like 2 purple weapons or whatever they start you with. In Frost Night, it's an empty inventory and then a couple of starter weapons. And then you have to loot as you go along. In that limited game mode, it makes total sense to be dropping weapons between you and your team so that you can work together. That's why I said, on encouraging team play, because in my opinion, allowing us to drop loot between each other is team play. However, I'm not naive. We all know that this game has been riddled. I'm just going to say it. All right, let's just be front today. Let's just be straight up. We know this game has been riddled with dupe glitches since day one. I don't share them. I don't make a note of them. I am aware that everybody's aware of these things. So we all know that the inventory of the average Stonewood newbie is loaded with stacks of Sunbeam they'll never use. I do understand that people get tons and tons of traps, and team play goes out the window when, you know, Johnny comes into the lobby, spams 200 ceiling electric fields, and you just sit and watch. That's not the team experience I think they want. And what I believe is they're working towards here is by limiting the sharing of illegitimate resources or some guy just doing it for everybody else. They're going to encourage you to actually participate in the game. That's going to take a while because people are going to have to burn through massive inventories. But again, I believe I'm getting too far ahead of myself. So in those special game modes, it won't be instance. Item sharing will be enabled, of course, for better clarity. New UI indicators will appear so that you can see what's going on there. And then it moves on to wildlife changes. So I wrote out some pros and cons for this change. On the one hand, you have no more trade. Oh, I love that, to have the shop right here. On the one hand, there's no more trading. So inventories where you're dropping stacks and Sunbeam and Bright Core back and forth, and people are just wasting each other's time. Scammer gets scammed. In my opinion, that's a good thing. You guys know I've been against trading forever. For Minerva, we have had the Trading Tips channel locked down forever. Back in the day, it used to be possible to have 2 event modes at the same time. Before they had figured out the exact timeline, we used to have like Frost Night and Dungeons. So for like a little bit of the year, it made sense to have 2 event channels. When that just stopped happening. We locked it into trading tips, and we just said don't. And in my opinion, I mean that. I'm not just trying to be someone who ignites the trading community. I just don't think it helps. I think farming your own loot or playing the game for yourself, working with lower level weapons and grinding throughout that early game is a good experience. That's a positive thing for players, that you should grow in the game. The progression is very fun. And that's my next point, is no more Stonewood noobs with 130s and 144s. I think we all know the drill. You spawn into Stonewood for the first time ever. I mean, it happened in my noob account series. I might have been stream sniped. It happens, but I've seen it happen for real. You load into your very, very first games outside of the tutorial missions, and then you're dropped 130s, 144s. The game is trivialized instantly. That cannot be a positive experience. That cannot be good for the game. So disallowing that is a positive. In my opinion, level locking weapons would have been the solution. I understand that's a difficult change, but I don't know. Borderlands figured it out in 2009, so I'm sure there's a way to do it. No more dropping loot altogether is an interesting ultimate approach to that. Now, on a higher level, I think the exchanging of resources is good. I know that exchanging of resources sounds a lot like trading, but when you're running 160s with your main team, it makes total sense that you might be low on planks, she might be low on efficient parts, you trade. That's pretty normal in the high end. And in that extent, neither of us are trying to profit. We're just trying to get the mission completed. I don't know how many teams are working like that. And I do mean on like a higher play style, meaning you could be in Plankerton. You're all level 19. You're all level 40. And you're just exchanging because like someone's low on nuts and bolts. Someone's got plenty of bacon. You trade, whatever. That can be very, very good. No longer being able to help a teammate out is tricky. Granted, you might be able to just craft the trap they want to trap and then you can put it down. It's different. That's again why I'm not trying to like bias everybody's opinion here, but when I read encourage team play, I'm like, does this encourage team play by not allowing us to exchange resources at all? I don't know, maybe. So, and then of course, no more obtaining weapons you can't craft. So they kind of fixed this. I'm getting ahead of myself. They fixed this, but, oh, we're on light mode. Sorry, shoot. I was on dark mode for all the people who are watching in a dark room. Sorry, Archer. Turn on some lights, man. The sun's out there. Anyway, so I made this video. I did not make this loadout. This was AS407, but I showed this loadout where the Ancient Launcher is being tracked as an ability. And an extension of this that Depression prevented me from making a video on, I was wanting to show that the Ancient Launcher actually did full damage at level 12. And that's really interesting. Of course, as you can imagine, I got the Ancient Launcher and leveled it to 130 immediately. So I can't showcase a level 12 weapon, and I can't get another copy, or I couldn't at the time. Let's check together. So what that meant is I couldn't, is in the Ancient section. Can I vouch for this yet? I cannot. So without somebody dropping me a level 12 weapon, I cannot get that. And by extension, Archer tweeted this. I don't have it up and ready to go. You can no longer drop Founder's weapons. That might be an oversight. I don't know if Epic intended this or not, but unless you already have a copy of the Nocturno, you can't get it anymore. That's not a good thing, in my opinion. I have a Nocturno, and I wish everybody could have them. I wish I could have dropped 100 copies to all my friends before the update. I did not see this coming, so that's tricky. There are legitimate paid-only weapons in Save the World now, so there are a lot of nuances to this loot change. I think in spirit, it's positive. They don't want to make bad changes that upset everybody for no reason. I think in the long run, it'll be positive, but I don't know. They took down a lot of good things in this game with that change. And like I said in my slow drink advanced EG shaker plug intro, I'm sure you'll have a lot to say in the comments down below. And that's mostly what I have to say about that. Loot changes are good, bad, and bad. I think it'll be good that people can't just dupe and exchange it to everybody now, but I don't know. I imagine a lot of Stonewood newbies trading back and forth, scamming each other, leveling 130 weapons and only using those and never getting out of Stonewood. We all know those people exist. I don't know how many of them are the main player base, but maybe this will be good for them to actually play the game, but maybe they'll be upset and quit. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Wildlife changes. They no longer eat dropped food to heal. All right, next. I don't know why they made that change, but yeah. Aerobic Assassin is in the game, or coming soon. So we think she'll be in the event shop tonight. This is something Epic has done even very recently, where they fixed the Plasmatic Discharger and introduced the Ancient Launcher in the same day, or same 36-hour period. We think Aerobic Assassin is coming to the shop tonight. I plan to stream that. Twitch link down below. Come hang out. I was going to stream today anyway, but whew, it's going to be a fun day to stream. So she has an interesting perk where she increases damage versus dancing enemies by 30%. And in the lead, enemies hit by Crescent Kick will now dance. So they are doing a little bit to buff Crescent Kick. That's something. And then it gives you support perk, beat dropkick, so increases damage to dancing enemies. And then it tells you all about the different Crescent Kick perks in the game, which is great. If you're a newbie who's not aware of it, there you are. And you might be an old timer who's not aware of it, because a lot of us have known about the Crescent Kick heroes and then like deleted them from our brain because it's not a very useful perk. I don't think she's going to change that, but there are, let's actually go to the boombox section. There are actually some very good boombox weapons. They might have tried to release her sooner because all the boombox weapons just left. This was a hero for like 3 months ago in my opinion, but the Beat Blast was a decent AR. The Staccato Shadow Shotgun is quite good. Pierces enemies, does some great damage. Ear Splitter, I've even recently shown this on the channel with the Cloak Shadow loadout. If you can make the enemies dance and do 30% more to them, not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. Not a game-changing hero, but not all of them have to be. I think she will be a nice buff for those using boombox weapons. Maybe today on stream I can run some boombox weapons and see if she's pretty good. I think as a YouTuber I am obligated to make a video showcasing her, so maybe I'll try and get some energy going for that today. And yeah, new hero. Oh, right, Aerobic Assassin. Looks like this. It'll be the BR skin, which is fine in my opinion. Some people dislike them reusing assets. I think they've made thousands of BR skins. You might as well use them. I don't see why not. So there you go. Available in the event store. I assume that's coming tonight. And Crescent Kick improvements. So the Crescent Kick ability now packs more mobility, utility, and impact. I'm not going to lie. This is the first time I'm seeing this. I was not aware of this. We'll find out together. You can now use Crescent Kick and move freely during the animation, even midair. That's a lot of flexibility. The kick's no longer front-only move, now hits targets in every direction. That's got to be useful. Increase impact, to put things into perspective. You can now stun a smasher with a single kick. That's huge, because a lot of people use Bull Rush on constructors just to stop a smasher mid-charge. Being able to do that with Crescent Kick is kind of fantastic. Crescent Kick, historically, based on its low utilization and low utility, two different things there, has been used as like a dead perk, meaning Paleoluna. They introduced her into the game as a very strong hero, and then gave her some mediocre abilities. Smoke Bomb's okay. Kunai Storm's pretty good. Crescent Kick was like a dead ability. How many people, hands in the chat here, how many people have used Paleoluna and actually used her Crescent Kick? Like, unironically, not a misclick. Like, the amount of time it takes to Crescent Kick and the amount of damage it did was always less than just continuing to use your melee. So, being able to be running Paleoluna and stunning a smasher at the same time, maybe I should make a video on that, just to check it out. I feel like that could be pretty good, because you could stun a smasher, which stops it in place and protects your base, and stops it in place so that you can continue to do more damage with your weapon while it's not running away from you or stopping to attack you. I think we've all done the Paleoluna Shuffle or the Melee Shuffle, where you are attacking a smasher, double jumping out of its smash, attacking a smasher, double jumping as it hits the ground. That cycle is very common for taking on a smasher with melees, and Crescent Kick stunning them has to be extremely interesting. That's interesting. Venturian's Blast Kick projectiles now launch in the direction of your aim, improving overall accuracy and control. They have buffed him twice recently. They are trying to make Crescent Kick useful. I'll take it. I'll take it. He was in the Historic or Art Deco? Yeah, Venturian. Here we go. So he's in the Art Deco Llamas, if you're curious, but they recently buffed his damage to do not enough, in my opinion. We tried him out and we're like, LOL, not enough. So now he doesn't put them in a fan, but like directly where you're looking, which could quintuple the damage depending on your range. Again, something worth looking into. I don't know if I'm going to like launch into a video of all of this, or if I should just do some basic testing first and then see if there's anything worth recording there. But that's cool. That's cool to see Crescent Kick getting some legitimate changes. Item shop is now in the main screen. Love that. Happy about it. And this bug fix section is huge. I think we all know this is just a purely positive change. Item shop is right here. Obviously, you guys should be using code Mista at your checkout. I would greatly appreciate it. And that's it. It's nice. It's one tab instead of a whole different section of the game. So we're all good. We're all good on that, I think. Bug fixes. So fixed an issue causing inconsistent research point generation. I had no idea about this. Of course, I've been maxed for years, but that's good. Leveling up should be consistent. Then, rescue the survivors. These guys have been bugged for a long time. So, Medbot now consistently appears next to the down survivor. I would hope it's no longer invisible, but I'm not sure. Ned, we all love Ned. I just need your help. No longer disappears or becomes unresponsive in some cases. Nice to see. Fleeing survivors now spawn consistently near tents or shopping carts. Good to see it. And resolved an audio issue causing the boombox set and boom bass perks to be really, really loud. Considering they just released a boombox hero, that's a well-timed change. We all know that has been quite loud. In fact, I've been lowering my audio in my recordings just because boom bass often gets ran by my teammates when I'm showing weapons. So that's nice to hear. Most in-world music effects will now have their volume lowered if another music source is closer to the player. Love that. The Ancient Launcher, this is what I'm talking about. Secondary fire no longer incorrectly scales with the hero ability damage stat. I don't know if that specifically means it's no longer doing ability damage or if it's just no longer scaling with that stat. I did pin a comment saying the bug, flashbang, saying the bug was patched. That might be incorrect. That requires further testing. I just wanted to give people a heads up that loadout might not be functioning as intended, as we all knew it would. I record that as like a sneaky little check out this bug before it's fixed kind of video. So visual bug with golden commando bullets not appearing. Cool, like that. So using certain melees, another major change. Using certain melee weapons with a leaping heavy attack no longer causes you to get stuck or in the wrong location. So what used to happen is if you did a heavy attack to other players, you would just freeze and then slide in the direction you were going, even completely off the map. Super weird, super random, kind of a bad deal. If you don't know where your teammates are, that's information that's pretty critical to the mission sometimes. So, and then on PC, double-clicking Storm Shield events play with others no longer prevents players from closing them. Good to see it. And then some known issues is that some sections of the mansion roof and Survive the Night missions are missing, causing invisible collisions that can block players. So, yeah. Comment down below what you guys thought. I'll have this link down below. I'll be streaming today. Check me out for more information over there and more of my opinions if you guys want to discuss this. I usually can't respond to every comment when it comes to these kinds of explosive updates because there are like 100 people saying the same things. So thumb up comments if you see someone repeating it. Although, let's be honest, if you watch to the end here, you are... it's probably too late to be mentioning that. So that's it. Subscribe, like the video. I'll see you guys later and, interesting update.